How's it going, everyone? This is GWR Studios, and today we are going to be finding some more goofs in Thomas and Friends. Today's episode is Bertie's Chase. I hope you enjoy it. Okay, so at the beginning of the episode, we see Edward waiting at Wellsworth Station. He was waiting to pick up passengers from Thomas's train.
Where is Thomas? He doesn't usually make us wait.
Inside of Edward's cab, the driver, fireman, and conductor were singing a song.
Oh dear, what can the matter be? Johnny so long.
And here comes the first goof. Take a look at the fireman's forehead. You can see there's a pretty big gash in it.
Never you mind about Johnny.
The driver tells the fireman to go on the roof to look for Thomas. But there's a goof in this scene. In the top right corner, we can see Edward's roof is coming loose. The goofs just don't end, guys. Take a look at Edward's cab. First off, that whistle is not to scale. It's way too narrow and it goes past Edward's cab. Don't believe me? Well, take a look at this previous scene. Look how much lower the whistle is positioned. This is definitely a goof. And the second goof in this scene is how dirty Edward's cab is. Look at all the black marks on it. In the previous scene, it was sparkling clean.
Can you see him?
No,
replied the fireman.
Although the fireman didn't see Thomas, he did see Bertie speeding down the road.
No need to bother with him, though. Likely he's on a coach tour or something.
The fireman then got back down, and an upset Edward left the station. Now pay attention to this spot right here. Look at these large clouds of steam. It looks like they're coming from the coaches. So as Edward leaves the station, Bertie tries to stop him.
Stop! Stop!
As it turned out, Bertie had Thomas's passengers, but Edward didn't know, so he left the station without them. Bertie made a promise to Thomas that he would deliver the passengers, so he set off to chase Edward down. Now here comes a goof that you really have to look for. At the very top of the screen, close to the center, we can see a piece of camera equipment.
I'll catch Edward or bust.
So poor Bertie is trying his best to catch up to Edward. But wait a minute. Bertie is driving on the wrong side of the road. We can confirm this because in the previous scene, he was driving on the left side of the road. Or at least he was trying to stay on the left side of the road. Maybe Bertie's just a reckless driver. Now this next thing isn't a goof, but I have to point it out. Here's what Bertie's theme song sounds like slowed down. It sounds like a bunch of pots and pans being banged around. And here comes another goof. Look in the top left corner. It's another piece of camera equipment. Finally, at the top of the hill, Bertie could see Edward.
Hooray! Hooray! I see him! Cheered Bertie as he...
Look at how crooked Bertie's front wheels are. At first, Bertie thought Edward was leaving, but as it turned out, he was stopped at a crossing.
Hooray! Hooray!
Bertie went down the hill as fast as he could, but when he made it to the bottom, Edward was already leaving.
Wait!
Wait! Oh yes, wait a minute!
He came so close to catching Edward, but it was too late. Edward was gone.
Never mind, said the passengers. After him quickly.
The passengers encouraged Bertie to continue chasing Edward.
Do you think we'll catch him at the next station, driver?
And here comes the next goof. In the previous scene, we saw the passengers outside of Bertie. And if you look close, you can see that the woman figurine is wearing a green hat. But in this scene, she's wearing a brown hat.
There's a good chance, replied the driver.
The driver says that Bertie has a good chance of catching up to Edward. But in the next scene, the woman figurine is standing on sticky tack.
Yes, we'll do it this time.
The passengers cheered, and Bertie continued on his chase. And here comes some more goofs. When Bertie drives under the bridge, we can see that he's going on both sides of the road. And the other goof in this scene is in the top right corner. Look at this spot right here. The coaches almost come to a stop.
This hill is too steep. This hill is too steep.
Edward's coaches didn't like going up the steep hills, but fortunately, they were almost to the station. And when they make it to the station, there's another goof. I want you to take a look at Edward. When he comes to a stop, his coaches stop before he does.
Quickly, please. The conductor blew the whistle, and Edward's driver looked back.
Finally, Bertie caught up to Edward, and the station master told the driver and guard what happened.
I'm sorry about the chase, Bertie.
So Edward apologized to Bertie, but Bertie took the blame.
Late at Junction, you didn't know about Thomas's passengers?
So everything was back to normal. Edward left the station with the coaches, and Bertie went to find Thomas. Thomas's eyes are a little wonky in this scene. When Bertie found Thomas, Thomas thanked him for his help.
Thank you, Bertie, for keeping your promise. You're a very good friend indeed.
And this marks the end of the episode. Okay, you guys, so those were all the goofs that I found in Bertie's chase. There were so many goofs in this episode that could have been prevented. Now remember, if you saw a goof that I didn't point out, leave a comment below and let me know. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you real soon.